So in today's video, I wanted to do a haul update video for you. I know a couple of YouTubers do this and I find it really helpful because you watch hauls and then sometimes you never see that person talk about that product again and you're curious, like, did you hate it? Did you return it? Like, do you love it? And you just never use it on camera. So I wanted to do the same thing. So the past month I've done 2 hauls, one on my birthday and one was like my Sephora haul. And I know my Sephora haul was just like 2 videos ago, but I did get that stuff like almost a month ago, so I have been using it for a while. So I have developed thoughts and opinions about said things. So if you're interested in the crap that I bought this past month and like what I thought about it, stay tuned. Okay, so the first 3 things I want to talk about are not here because I returned those suckers. They were part of my birthday haul and I got them all from Ulta. The first thing was the Bareminerals Well-Rested powder. Garbage. I hated it. I hated it so much. No matter how I used it, whether I was just putting it on top of foundation, no concealer, whether I put it on top of concealer, doesn't matter which concealer I used, whether I used a brush and a really light hand, or I used my beauty blender, or what. It did not matter. It did not matter. Whenever that powder touched my face, it just looked, it aged my skin. It made my skin, like anywhere where the powder touched, like even like farther down here, it just made my skin look 80 years old. It was so bizarre. And also it made my skin kind of look like old books, like the color of like yellowed old books. It was so weird. And it was just like, I really tried. I think I must have tried like 6 or 7 different times of like making it work. And honestly, every time I put it on my face, I ended up having to like wash my face and start over because it just did not look good at all. So that got returned. The next thing was the NYX Got You Covered concealer. It came in like a little tube situation, squeezy tube. That was just a thick goopy mess. Like it just did not look good whatsoever. It was just way too thick for my skin. It just looked just so cakey, and it was really hard to blend out because it was so thick. So like I could have kept it for like spot concealing places on my face, but like I said, it was really hard to like, it made my face look really cakey, so it was really hard to powder over. So no matter what like I put over it, whether it was like really light translucent powder or face powder or whatever, it just looked super cakey and gross. So had to get rid of it. And then the last thing was the NYX Contour Duo. Now if you've seen pretty much any of my tutorials, I feel like I use this in almost every single one. I have this NYX Cheek Contour Duo in Double Date, and it has a contour powder and a highlight. The contour powder is actually what I'm wearing on my face today. Not the highlight though, but I mean it is like a decent highlight. So when I was at Ulta for my birthday, I saw that they had more of these, and they had like a blush and highlight duo, and the one I got was like perfect match, I believe. And when I swatched it in my haul video, I made a comment that it was very sheer, and yep, it was super sheer. It just like had almost zero color payoff on my cheeks. And then the highlight was not as sheer, but it just looked so powdery. It just looked like I put baby powder on my face. And it was really hard to blend, so I didn't want to bother with it, so I just got rid of that one too. So now for the things that I actually kept, since those were the 3 things that I got rid of. So in no particular order, I'm not going to be like, here's the stuff I got on my birthday haul, this is the stuff I got on my Sephora haul. I'll list both of those videos down below in case you missed them and you wanted to know all the things that I got. Yeah. So the first thing is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I've heard and I'm sure you have too if you've watched any YouTube beauty video ever, this is supposed to be like the greatest under eye setting powder of life. And the jury's still out on that one. Some days I feel like it looks nice, like I'm wearing it today, underneath my eyes, and I've used it both with like a damp beauty blender, I've used it with a brush, and you know, like some days I feel like it looks okay and some days I feel like it looks like garbage. I think I need to find the holy grail, you know, there's something out there for me that I know is going to be like my perfect under eye concealer powder combination. I know it. I have faith. I'm not going to be a downer and be like, I just have crappy under eyes and nothing's ever going to work for me. Like, I know that there's something out there. I just have not discovered it yet. And this isn't it either. So, I mean, it's okay. Like, I mean, I'm not bummed that I got it because now I know. And I'll still use it because, like I said, some days it looks good and some days it looks like garbage. So, okay, so next up is the Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. I have mine in the shade 07 Custard. I really like this concealer. I'm wearing it today. It is just a really, like, reliable concealer. It's like not too drying, it's not too full coverage, but it has a lot of coverage. It's just a really good under eye concealer. I really like it. I have nothing bad to say about it. Not a single bad thing. I'm also really glad that they changed the applicator, so it's not the dot applicator that used to be. Mine, maybe I just got a weird one, which I'm like, not complaining. Mine's more of like the doe foot applicator where you can actually like swipe it on. So I really like this one. And also I like that it's the Sephora collection. So when I run out of this and I need to repurchase it, it's not going to like break my bank. You know what I mean? I think this was like under 20 bucks. So I really appreciate it. Another concealer that I got was the Nars Creamy Concealer in Custard. I'm not like over the moon about this. This concealer is kind of like middle of the road for me. The color, although these are like the same name, they're not the same shade. This is like a pinch darker, and I like my under eye concealer to be like, I mix these two for my under eyes. Like I do this like farther down on my cheeks, and I do this one closer to like my lash line, and then I'll usually use this in the center of my face to like, you know, evenly distribute the highlight. But I feel like this is like a pinch too dry for my under eyes alone, and the shade is a little too dark. So I know that they have, I think, Vanilla, which is a shade below this, which is for more like the fairer of the ladies. I almost said lads. Fairer of the lads. So yeah, like I'm glad that I got the little baby size, because like with this, I'm glad that I was able to test it out and make my own opinion about it, because I've seen so many beauty YouTubers use this for so many years, and now I know how I feel about it, which is kind of like me. Next up is the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Okay, so I had this like years ago, and I loved it, and I mean, I still kind of like it now. Although I don't know if like my eyebrows have changed, or if their formula has changed, or maybe I just got like a weird one, but this gel, for some reason or another, when it dries, it's like white. Like, not white, kind of like, you know, the color of like when you're a kid and you like put glue on your hand and then you wait for it to dry and then you peel it off, and it's kind of like that, like not quite white, not quite clear color, like kind of flaky, weird color. You know what I mean? That's kind of what happens when I put this on my eyebrows, and then a few hours later it kind of like dries and becomes that like weird glue, like dried glue color. And I don't like that on my eyebrows. It makes me look weird and dusty. Wow, voice crack, did you hear that? So I ended up buying the tinted one, and I'm kind of like, I'm on the fence about this as well. I got the one in Brunette. I should have gotten chocolate, because this makes my eyebrows kind of lighter and kind of like more warm toned. I have it on my eyebrows today. So I don't know if I necessarily like it or hate it. I don't know. So I'm still using this. I'm just kind of disappointed that like sometimes it makes my eyebrows look like I literally put Elmer's glue in them and then they dry and got all crusty. That sucks. Alright, next up is the Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Pencil. I believe this is in like Brunette. It doesn't say on here. It's basically like the Anastasia Brow Wiz or like the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, which I have used multiples of and I love. I really like that it does have like a precise, more precise kind of tip. This makes like drawing the individual brow hairs in the front like so easy, because you literally just have to go dink, 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 and then it really does make it look like you have fuller brows in the front. It has a really nice spoolie. The one downside to this is that the formula is a little bit more on the creamy side, so you go through it quicker, which kind of stinks, but it's more affordable than the Anastasia Brow Wiz, so you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of not really saving money because you go through 2 of these in the time that it would take you to go through 1 of those, you know what I mean? And because see, I'm already, this is how much I have left. So, and I've only had this for like a month. And this isn't, like, I don't use the same brow products every single day. So, that's kind of a bummer. And the first time I used it, it broke because this is like such a soft, you know what I mean? Like, product. It like broke off, and it broke off like a chunk of it. It's like, why? All right, next up is the Essence Gel Eye Pencil, waterproof in Cocoa Bean. Oh my gosh, last time when I hauled this, I was like, couldn't find the name. It's like right on the cap. Like, I'm such a dingle. This has a retractable pencil, which is awesome. Because when I bought this, I thought it was just a like sharpened one, but I really like how opaque it is. It's like a super creamy, opaque pencil. This is really perfect for the waterline. Do I think that it's like super waterproof and stays in the waterline for like ever and ever? No. But I mean, for like Essence, this is a really inexpensive brand. This cost me like, I think $2 or less, and I like it. It's good. All right, next up is the Benefit Rollerlash. I got the little baby size because you know how I am about like travel size mascaras. I like to test them out. I like this mascara a lot. I really, really do. I like it. I think that it makes my lashes look really long. It doesn't do much for volumizing my lashes, but length, it makes my lashes look very like pretty and long. Do I think that it like held a curl better than any other mascara? Nah. But, or did it like curl on its own without having to use an eyelash curler? Absolutely not. But I have kind of like stubborn eyelashes, so I do really like this mascara. It's not my favorite Benefit mascara. My favorite one is the They're Real, along with the primer. But this, I'm really glad that I got this and tried it out. It was a nice mascara, and I would recommend it to anybody who's looking for length. How many times can I do this? Woo! All right, next up is my little Makeupforever eyeshadows that I was super, super excited about getting. Okay, so the red shade right here is the color M as in matte 846, and then this gold guy right here is D as in diamond 410. So they're beautiful. I'm wearing this like kind of in my crease right now, along with like the 350 palette and a ColourPop shadow, but it's so gorgeous. It's so pigmented, like the most pigmented shadow in the world. That's kind of a horrible swatch that didn't really do it justice. but these shadows are beautiful. This, I was right, like using it wet is very, very gorgeous, like all over the lid. I'm so glad that I got these. I'm really hoping that I get to spend some money for Christmas at Sephora because I want to get more. Yep, love it. Love, love, love it. All right, and then the last thing I have here is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. Okay, so I was totally right in my video when I hauled it, and I said that I think the color was off. I got light, medium, neutral, or something like that, and I was totally right. It was too dark for me. So I went and I exchanged it, and I got light neutral. And the color, it's like right there. The color is a lot better of a match, but I still think it's off. Like I still can make it work for myself, like once I have all the rest of my makeup on and stuff, but it's just, I think it's more of just like it being an off color. I think that's something about the formula I just don't care for on my skin. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why this, like, I've used it a couple of times. I've used it with a beauty blender. I've used it with a brush. I've used it, you know, trying to like spread it out, like to get more coverage with my fingers and then going over it with a beauty blender. Like, I can't really get it to work for me. I feel like the coverage is really light and splotchy, to be perfectly honest. And I'm really bummed because a gal that I watch, and I've mentioned a couple of times before, Nicole at Young, Wild, and Polished, usually like her recommendations are spot on. Like whatever she recommends for me, she calls me up and says, "Hey Steph, you should go buy this." Not for me, like whatever she recommends to her viewers, I tend to really like the Nars Laguna Hot Sands duo. I talked about that in my favorites video. That has become my absolute favorite bronzer of like all time. Like I have pretty much used that every single time that I did my makeup this past month. It's like my favorite. So she actually talked about this in her favorites video this month. And she talked about how like beautiful and full coverage and blah, blah, blah. And like with the beauty blender and this and that. And for me, it just like totally sucked. And I'm so bummed out. Because when I use it with a beauty blender, my beauty blender soaks all the product up. Because it's like a really like runny consistency. And it's like a water foundation, right? So it's supposed to be like mostly water, I'm assuming. And when you have like really watery foundations, if you use a beauty blender, your beauty blender is going to soak up most of the product. And then when I use it with a brush, it's just super streaky and it like will not like blend into my skin. So I don't know what to do. Ugh. Like maybe because like I'm pregnant right now and my skin's just really dry and kind of fussy. Maybe once I'm not pregnant anymore, I will like it better. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, so that's it for this video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this helpful, and if you watched my haul videos and you were curious as to whether or not these products were working out for me, now you know. So if you really like this type of video, this like haul update video, and you want me to continue to do it in the future, then please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, my Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. I totally blanked. Like, what's the other social media that I'm on? I will list that down below, along with everything that I mentioned in the description box below. And that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching again. I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye!